So, what kind of medicine do you specialize in?
So I'm an otolaryngologist, head and neck surgeon, and that's more commonly known as an ENT doctor. And we do surgery of the head and neck and treat all medical and surgical problems of the head and neck outside, or not counting the central nervous system and not counting the eyes.
Okay. So, when did you first become interested in medicine?
I had always been interested in medicine even as a kid, but took a more roundabout way becoming or dedicating myself to medicine. And I first trained or was educated as an English major at the University of Michigan. And then after my first 4 years of college, I decided to go into medicine at that point.
So, what classes or extracurricular activities did you take in high school and college that kind of like helped you or prepared you for this career track?
So in high school, I went to a kind of a crappy high school in the middle of Michigan in the countryside. And there was just a standard coursework that was offered pretty much to everybody. And so I did have a very good chemistry teacher and had a very good physics teacher. There were no advanced placement classes, but these two teachers really gave us a good solid education in both of those fields, and that was helpful. When it came time to actually prepare to go to medical school though, I essentially took the core classes that are fundamentally required to apply to medical school, but probably the most important extracurricular thing I did at that point was starting to do some research in a research lab in college, and that was very helpful in terms of preparing me for all of these issues.
So, how did you begin your career in Des
Well, in Des Moines, in the medical training, you first go to medical school. After medical school, you develop your specialization as a resident, which is a period of training anywhere from 3 to 5 years, and then go out and start your real job finally. And I did my medical school at the Medical College of Wisconsin-Milwaukee for 4 years, and then 5 years of surgical training at the University of Minnesota. I came to Des Moines at the bequest of one of the residents I had trained with. So one of the people I had trained with in Minneapolis is from Des Moines, Tim Simplot, and he recruited me here to Des Moines.
So, how long was all of your schooling, like college and university?
So I had 4 years of undergrad at the University of Michigan. Then I did 2 extra years of pre-medical training at Michigan State University. 4 years of medical school, then 5 years of residency training. So whatever that adds up to. I think it's like 11 years or so.
Quite a bit.
So,
Yeah. So, what have been the highlights of your career? Like, super interesting, cool stuff?
yeah. Well, so some of the biggest highlights, I suppose, are the opportunities to do exciting surgeries or to have a big impact on people's lives. And there really have been a lot of those opportunities over the years, ranging from life-saving surgeries or urgent surgeries requiring a very quick action that you can make the difference between life or death. But also we do a lot of different types of surgery, some of which seem somewhat trivial but make big differences to people. It's really the variety of the types of interventions that we do in my field that make it particularly interesting to me. So there's a huge variety. There's always something different.
So, do you participate in research?
I do.
Okay, so like what's that on? Just like what's similar to what you do surgery on, or?
So, we're in an interesting position here in Iowa, in central Iowa, because there's not a big university right here in this city. But there's a lot of pathology. There's many people, and there's complex clinical situations going on. So there's a lot of material on which to do research. We do clinical research in our clinic, and so I supervise several research projects whose focus is mainly the kinds of problems that ENT doctors run into more frequently. I also have relations with laboratories outside of the state where I can work cooperatively with to send specimens to for more sophisticated DNA analysis. Right now, there are several focuses of research I have, but one of the more interesting one, which is the topic tonight, is looking at the bacteria and the microbes that inhabit parts of the nose and the throat, using a more sophisticated analysis that's sort of looking at health and disease and trying to understand these conditions better.
Okay, so what's new coming out of this research that could be like really impactful? Something?
So what we're trying to lead up to, and so the current research I'm doing is laying the groundwork for what could be revolutionary in terms of the treatment of sinus and ear disease with respect to infectious disease. And what we are working toward is to do what would amount to the world's first human trial of a probiotic therapy for sinus infections. And so right now we use antibiotics which destroy all of the bacteria, including the good bacteria. What if we could treat infections instead of with germ-killing antibiotics? What if we could treat them with friendly microbes that would restore normal flora and fight infections for us? And that is a paradigm shift in the treatment of infectious diseases of the head and neck that could also be applicable in other areas. So what we're working on right now really has the capacity to have a massive influence on the way infectious disease is treated, not just in our field, but other fields. So we're very excited about it.
So what activities would you recommend high schoolers like partake in to prepare for medical school or anything like that?
Really, for anybody who has an interest in medicine, I think that the most important thing is to surround yourself in any way, shape, or form to some element of the medical field. So whether it's volunteering at a hospital, volunteering in a clinic, if there's some opportunity to do research or to have any exposure to the world of medicine of any kind, I think those would be really good opportunities, because one way or another, some of that frame of reference that you'll gain by virtue of being in these environments will help you get a better understanding of what you're getting into.
All right, well, thanks. That's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.